Today we're going to be taking a look at a 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid Limited. Let's get started. The 2024 RAV4 is very similar to the 2023 RAV4 in that we didn't get any major upgrades for the 2024 model year. The only real change that we got for this model year to the RAV4 is that we now have the army green color coming to the Adventure, the TRD, and the Woodland editions. And under the hood of this RAV4 Hybrid, we have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that makes a net combined horsepower of 219. You can see it's paired with this hybrid battery pack over here. It does have an eCVT transmission, and all-wheel drive is standard on all of the RAV4 hybrids. This RAV4 Hybrid is rated at 39 miles per gallon. That's going to be 41 in the city and 38 on the highway. The 2024 RAV4 Hybrid Limited starts at $39,780. This one here, as spec'd, has an MSRP of $44,404. In this video, we're going to take a quick tour of the exterior of this RAV4 Hybrid, and then we're going to jump inside and talk about some of the features. So starting off with this paint color, this is Toyota's Ruby Flare Pearl. It's a color that's been around for a long time, but one thing to note about the Ruby Flare Pearl color is that it is an extra $425 to get this paint from the factory. So if you want to get a Ruby Flare Pearl, just like Windshield Pearl, the Pearl White, this one is an extra cost paint option. Starting over here in the front, we have this blue Toyota emblem because this is a hybrid. This is still part of the Toyota generation where they're doing the blue to signify that it's a hybrid. Some of the newer Toyotas that have gotten redesigns lately, or the ones that have been introduced lately, they've gone away with this blue badging and instead they do a Beyond Zero badge in the back. But this right here still has that blue emblem to show you that it's a hybrid. Just under the emblem, we have this brushed aluminum grille right here. It is a sporty looking grille that does have a frontward facing camera right here on it underneath that Toyota emblem. And what's really interesting is that this grille also does have parking sensors built into the grille. So not only do we have parking sensors on the bumper, we also have them on the grille. This RAV4 Hybrid Limited also has LED headlights with an LED daytime running light, as well as LED fog lights over here. Moving up to the hood, we have a little bit of an indentation right here in the center of the hood. So unlike the 4Runner that we saw last week, which had a bulge that raised up a little bit towards the center of the hood, this RAV4 Hybrid is going down towards the center of the hood. Carrying along over to our wipers over here, you can see that there are some wiper de-icer lines underneath the wipers over there. So if you're waking up one morning and your wipers are frozen to your glass, there's a button in the interior to de-ice them from the windshield. And at the very top of the windshield, you can see a front mounted camera as well over there. That one is going to help control some of the Toyota Safety Sense features. This RAV4 Hybrid has TSS 2.5. Let's go ahead and take a look at these wheels and tires. Toyota calls these their 18-inch multi-spoke metallic alloy wheels, and the tire size here is 225/60 R18. What's really interesting about these wheel wells and also underneath the front and rear doors is that there's regular black plastic. Toyota does do gloss black over here on the SE and the XSE model, and this Limited is supposed to be higher. It's more expensive. It's supposed to have more features than the SE and XSE. So it's very confusing why they went with the cheaper looking regular plastic over here instead of the gloss plastic, even though this one here is a more expensive and more optioned out trim over the SE and the XSE. Let's go ahead and take a look at this side mirror. It's color matched. It has a turn signal indicator built in, camera underneath the side mirror so that we have that 360-degree view, which we'll show you guys inside later. And going around it, there is blind spot monitors, which are standard. The RAV4 Hybrid Limited also gets a little bit more chrome than some of the other RAV4s. So you can see over here at the top of the window trim, we do have some chrome that wraps around these windows, and we also have chrome on the door handles. These door handles do have keyless entry on both of the front door handles and the back door handles, which is a rare thing to see, keyless entry on rear door handles. That's starting to become a little bit more common now, but we can go ahead and place our hand right there and it's going to unlock as long as we have the keys nearby. Right behind the rear door, we have our fuel door, and the RAV4 Hybrid takes 14.5 gallons of regular 87 octane gas, and at 38 miles per gallon, that should get you about 565 miles per fill up. Up at the top of the RAV4 Hybrid, we have these gloss black roof rails, which to me just makes this whole wheel well plastic thing even more confusing because we have gloss black up at the top and just regular black plastic right here down below. I might just be nitpicking at it, but we also have a panoramic glass roof on this one. It is optional on the Rav4 Hybrid Limiteds. So we have the panoramic glass roof at the very top, and going over to the end, we have a color matched shark fin antenna. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rear of this Rav4 Hybrid next, where we have our tail lights back here. Nothing too fancy about them, but we do have this sort of silver bridge that connects these two tail lights together. In the middle of that is another one of these blue Toyota emblems. We have our wiper up here that's on the glass, and this glass is also slightly protected by this small little spoiler. It covers a little bit of the glass right there. We do get some badges back here. We have Rav4 on the left, Limited Hybrid on the right. And taking a look at the rear bumper, we have again just regular black plastic. We have rear parking sensors on the rear bumper. Just underneath that is another one of these like brushed aluminum silver pieces there for some decoration. And down at the bottom, we have one exhaust tip on each side, which is surrounded by a fancier, bigger exhaust tip to make it look a little bit larger. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the cargo space of the Rav4 Hybrid. Now, to open up that liftgate, there's a couple of different ways we can do this. For option A, there's a button just beside the steering wheel inside. Option B is we can use this key right here, which does have this third button down here. You can hold it and that'll open up that liftgate. Another option that we have is to go over to the Toyota emblem, and there's a button that we can press right underneath it. That'll open it up. But there is actually a fourth way that we can open up the liftgate, and that's by using the foot activated sensor. So if we just go down over here to the rear bumper and we just go ahead and kick our foot from front to back, that should go ahead and open up that trunk for us. It beeped there, so it didn't work the first time. Let's go ahead and try it again with our foot, just kicking back and forth. And there we go, the liftgate's gonna open up. And it'll also do the exact same thing for closing the liftgate. So if you wanna close the liftgate, we can either use the button right over here, we can use our foot with the foot activated sensor, you can use the key, or you can use the button right next to the steering wheel. Taking a look at this cargo space now, we have this cardboard box right here, which has the floor mats that are gonna go into the front later. We do have this rear cargo mat that says Rav4 on it. Underneath this floorboard, we can actually go ahead and pull this up and reveal a spare tire as well as some tools. And over here to the left, we also have a speaker. It's a JBL speaker because this is the Rav4 Hybrid Limited. And then over here on the right side is just a little storage area with this net. The cargo area also has a 12-volt power outlet over here, as well as one of these sliding cargo covers where we can just go ahead and attach that to those little points right there on the sides, and we can hide the valuable items that we have inside the cargo area. The cargo space of the Rav4 Hybrid as it is right now is 37.5 cubic feet, but you can actually bring that up to 69.8 cubic feet if you fold down these second row seats. Next up, we're going to go ahead and jump inside the Rav4 Hybrid and talk about some of the features that we have inside. And if you guys are enjoying the video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. So starting here with the door panel, we're going to go from the bottom up. We have a cup holder over here, or a water bottle holder. We have one of the 11 interior JBL speakers on the Rav4 Hybrid Limited. Moving up a little bit, we have some more of these brushed aluminum trim pieces sort of around this door panel area. We have auto up-down windows on all four corners, a window lock button, lock and unlock, our mirror controls for the side mirrors, and we also have 2 memory seat positions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the seats next. These right here are Toyota's black Softex seats, so these are synthetic fake leather. They're a little bit squishier than regular real leather. And then we also have perforation in the seats because these are also ventilated seats. They're heated and ventilated. Some white stitching also around the seats, around this back portion here. Now moving down below, we do have power seats for both the driver and the passenger side, but only the driver side is going to get lumbar support. Moving up over here to the side a little bit, where we have a couple of buttons and releases. We have a release for the fuel door, release for the hood, and we have this row of buttons that all serve different functions. So we have our brightness control here for the center gauge cluster, automatic high beams, windshield wiper de-icer, 360-degree camera view, so if you want to see everything that's around the Rav4 Hybrid, you can press right here. Heated steering wheel, odometer trip reset, and opening and closing of the trunk. There's also a small little storage pocket over here as well, and our air vent is also surrounded by this brushed aluminum trim. And sitting inside of the Rav4 Hybrid Limited now, we can take a look at this steering wheel. It's a very, very soft leather with some black stitching as well. We've got our center airbag and horn right here, as well as plenty of steering wheel controls. On the left side, we have these arrows right here, which are going to help us control some of the menus in this 12.3-inch digital display. Down below, we have some audio and multimedia controls. And on the right side, we have some controls to turn on our radar guided cruise control or our lane depart assist. You can see behind the steering wheel, we have automatic headlights, wiper controls on the right side, and our power start button is just underneath. So let's go ahead and turn this RAV4 Hybrid on and see what the gauge cluster looks like. And just like that, the RAV4 Hybrid is turned on. We have this fully digital 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. And like I said, we can control it using the buttons on the steering wheel over here. This is pretty much fully configurable to however you like it. You can also change around different drive modes, and you can really just play around with the screen to find out what mode works for you and what information you like to see as you're driving. Let's go ahead and take a look over at the center display now. This is a 10.5-inch touchscreen. It does have Toyota's newest interface. So we have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It also receives over-the-air updates, and it has Google Maps built in, which I think you have to subscribe for now. Somebody can correct me in the comments now, but I don't think they include built-in navigation anymore, or it is built in, but you have to subscribe to it on a monthly basis. We also have a volume knob right here. There is no tune knob, but it's nice that they have the volume knob over here on the driver's side, unlike the Highlander and the Prius, where they, for some reason, put the volume knob over here on the passenger side. Underneath of that, we have our emergency lights, 2 more air vents over here, HVAC controls. We do have a dual zone system over here, so we can have a different temperature for the driver and a different temperature for the passenger side. Just under that, we have our button to turn off traction control, heated and ventilated seats for both the driver and the passenger side. And then underneath that, we have a wireless phone charger pad over here, so you can place your phone there. But be warned, I have tried this, and this wireless pad is not as good as some of Toyota's other wireless pads. Your phone will sort of slide around a little bit if you put your phone there. We also have a 12-volt power outlet and a USB type A port. Let's take a look at our shifter over here. We can go ahead and shift around. We have sport mode, where you can simulate the shifting of gears. Electronic parking brake, it does go up and down automatically as you bring the car in and out of park. We do have a brake hold feature, a trail mode, and some different drive modes. We have Eco, Sport, or you can push down here to turn it back into normal. We also have EV mode. And let's go ahead and take a look at this reverse camera. This reverse camera did get updated last year, I believe, so it is a little bit higher quality now than it was before. And we also have these guidelines that do move around as we're driving. Let's go ahead and turn on this camera view button as well, so that we can take a look at what that looks like. This right here is going to give us sort of a surround view of everything that's around the car. And I think it should also turn on if we're in reverse. So let's go ahead and press right here. There we go. It's that button, which will show you sort of a side-by-side of what's behind the car, and also sort of a top-down view of everything that's around it. Moving along from the shifter, we have 2 cup holders down here. Let's also go ahead and take a look at our center console, which does have 2 USB Type-C ports in there, and it looks like we have a storage tray as well. You can see this is how far deep it goes down. It's not the largest, but it's also not a tiny center console. It's, you know, pretty good size for this car. Let's go ahead and jump into the passenger side next. The door panel is pretty much the same as it was over on the driver side, just with some less controls since we're not the driver. The passenger side seat, also pretty much the same. It does have that power seat like I showed over there, but without the lumbar support. Let's go ahead and hop into this RAV4 Hybrid Limited. And we do have this little storage shelf right here. I don't know if you may have picked up, but we do have some like brown accents. So you can see over here around the wireless charger, around the cup holder, and even on this storage shelf right here, there's some brown accents. We also have a locking glove box right underneath of that. It is pretty small, but it does just keep all of the paperwork for the vehicle. And moving on upwards from the screen, we can take a look at our rear view mirror. This is a digital rear view mirror, so we can see digitally everything that's behind us. And if you want it to turn it back into a normal mirror, you can just kind of flick this switch right here in the center. That makes it a normal mirror again. We do also have home link, so we can connect up to 3 different remotes. You can also change some of the settings here if you are using the digital rear view mirror. So you can change things around, like the positioning of the camera, the zoom, and things like that. So you can also set up that home link right here in the settings. Moving along upwards, we have a sunglass holder over here, some light controls, emergency SOS button, as well as our sunroof controls. So this RAV4 Hybrid Limited does have the optional panoramic glass roof. So if we go ahead and open this up, we can go ahead and slide this shade all the way out to the end of the rear seats. and see how that looks like. It's pretty much just like a double sunroof. So we have pretty much a regular sunroof size over here, separated by this middle piece up here, and then it sort of just does another sunroof in the back. Let's go ahead and take a look at these visors as well. We can go ahead and remove them off this clip, swivel it around. You cannot fully extend it, but you do have a little bit of extra coverage right here. And the visor does also get a mirror with a light. And lastly, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the rear seats of this RAV4 Hybrid. So starting here with this door panel, one thing that you're gonna notice is, in addition to just the window switches, you also have a button right here to turn on your heated seat. The RAV4 Hybrid Limited has optional rear heated seats, and the rear heated seats are only gonna heat up the outer seats. So not the center seat, just the outer seat. And these seats right here also have 2 positions, so you can kind of sit them down like this, or you can recline them just a little bit to be maybe a little bit more comfortable. And if you're not using the middle seat, you can also fold this section down for an armrest, 2 extra cup holders as well. Behind the front seats, the driver's seat does not have a storage pocket, but the passenger seat has a storage pocket. And the second row also gets 2 air vents as well as 2 USB Type-C ports. And if you're looking for child seat latch points, the outer seats have them right over here. And right over here, we have 2 child seat latch points. And folding down these rear seats is super easy. It's just like reclining them. You're gonna go ahead and pull up right here, except this time we're just gonna push them up forward, and that gives you access to the cargo area and also just additional cargo space if you're not using these second row seats. So that's gonna do it for this overview of the RAV4 Hybrid Limited. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We just hit 12,000 subscribers, and I'm very appreciative of every one of you who have subscribed to the channel. If you're seeing this video, maybe you've seen some of my other videos and you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow a lot faster. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.